Ghost Rider, thanks for a €5 super chat. HDZero becoming open source. Your thoughts? I mean, I think that is great for Carl to say that's his goal. I think that there are what makes an open source project powerful is the community around it. So if Carl open sources it, it remains to be seen what community will cluster around it. HDZero has a strong community, but if it seems to the community and the developers like this is a case of why do open source developers contribute so much time and effort to a project? That's a good question. Probably mental illness. Don't know. I think that they want ownership and they want to contribute and they want to see their contributions having an effect. And a lot of times that is contradictory to a company who wants to make money on the project. So there have been cases where a company open sources a commercial project, but at the end of the day, they still want to control it. And it's not always, and so then if it's open source, you can just fork it, right? And you can do your own thing. But there are various reasons why that doesn't always work. So there's two things here that need to happen for this to be meaningful. One is that Carl needs to open source it. They need to open source the hardware designs. They need to publish all the information that would be necessary for a third party to build an HDZero VTX on their own and manufacture it. Including, and this is like, if you look at the Express LRS project, that is a great model for how this would work. And they need to open source the code so that developers can modify the code. And there needs to be tools and mechanisms for people to flash their own code to the system, both for the sake of development and for the sake of users who, for example, the Express LRS dev or some devs might fork the HDZero project, do custom code, and people can flash it on their own. So none of that is difficult or new. It's all been done, like, for example, in the Express LRS project. It just needs to get done. So number one, Carl needs to do that at the time that he feels it's appropriate. And then number two, the community needs to then coalesce around that and help develop it. And so that will be cool if and when that happens.